I got myself in a lot of trouble. I said it's my favorite word in the dictionary, the word tariff.
Rarely has one word caused so much fear and confusion, and it would define the first 100 days of this presidency.
My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day.
Much of the world may be on a collision course with a recession.
Steep tariffs slapped on nearly every single foreign import into the US.
We came armed with a little smaller chart.
From the biggest powerhouses to the smallest of uninhabited islands.
We will establish a minimum baseline tariff of 10%. In other words, they charge us, we charge them.
U.S. stocks are tumbling.
Investors telling me that their trust has been just completely eroded.
Global markets crashed under the weight of economic uncertainty.
As we come on the air, the ASX is again a sea of red.
The Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P all down.
A $47 billion wipeout happening right now.
By increasing the cost of doing business around the world, President Trump pushed the global economy to the brink.
This is a changing and completely new world.
It is the American people who will pay the biggest price for these unjustified tariffs.
President Trump posted just a little while ago on social media, "Be cool, everything is going to work out well."
Well, look, Trump has been obsessed with tariffs for decades, and he would say things like, well, we need to increase tariffs. So it is a genuine obsession of his, and he's following through. Certainly, it's not the craziest plan ever. I think it's a plan for the times. And of course, the political overlay is bringing jobs back to the US. It's been a very bad 25 years for manufacturing workers in the US, for the Rust Belt.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country, and you see it happening already.
These are the strongest supporters of Donald Trump in these areas, and he's trying to give something back to them.
For decades, our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far, both friend and foe alike.
The world needs shaking up. Look what happened with Biden for 4 years.
People were taking advantage of this country and he's trying to straighten it out.
No one's had the balls to do it, and he's trying to.
But a week after Liberation Day and after a week of carnage on Wall Street, Trump finally blinked, slashing most tariffs down to a universal 10%.
The markets are up big time. President pausing tariffs for 90 days on trading partners that have not retaliated against the U.S.
A global reordering of trade, but yet he announced it on a tweet? WTF? Who's in charge?
They were getting yippy, you know? They were getting a little bit yippy, a little bit afraid.
Is there any economic method to what people are perceiving as madness around tariffs?
Well, it's the behavior of somebody who doesn't really understand the stakes of what he's doing. It's on, it's off, it's on in part, it's off in part. That's how he thinks. That's not a strategy, that's incoherent.
It was a back down of sorts, but still bad news for Australia.
We imported $3 billion of Australian beef from them just last year alone. They won't take any of our beef. They don't want it.
The administration's tariffs go against the basis of our two nations partnership. This is not the act of a friend.
Why did they get whacked in the first place?
It was a view backed by an ally in the US Congress.
We have a trade surplus with Australia. We have a free trade agreement. Why? They are an incredibly important national security partner. Why were they whacked with a tariff?
America has the best trade deal with Australia that it could have. No tariffs, no quotas, no barriers to investment. Yet he's slapping tariffs on us. And no doubt, you know, there are more to come. I think it's going to be a wild ride, and potentially a very costly and damaging one for Australia.
While Trump may have dealt us a bad hand, his deal for China was worse, and it erupted into a trade war between the world's mightiest superpowers.
And some breaking news coming in from Beijing now. The government is to raise additional tariffs on US goods to 125%.
Because I told them if you retaliate, we're going to double it. And that's what I did with China, because they did retaliate.
But the president might be about to undertake one of his biggest backdowns yet.
We're dealing with a lot of countries right now, and could be with China, but maybe we'll make a special, a deal.
Well, a lot of it is bargaining. That's what Trump does, but it just shows he doesn't have an end state in mind. It's Trump being the center of attention, with everybody waiting with bated breath. What's the tariff policy today? That's the perfect Trump world.
In Trump's world, it's all about who's holding the cards. And right now, he says he is.
That's part of his brand. Trump's modus operandi is to exert power as much as he can. He's a bully.
And for 100 days, Trump has flexed his presidential power, from tariffs to settling old scores.
Given that Trump spent 4 years at Mar-a-Lago stewing about his grievances and his enemies, he and his aides spent 4 years planning what they would do when they came back.
How much of the way he's running the US government now is retribution?
I think retribution is a major element of what Trump wants out of a second term. He's a man who feels endlessly aggrieved by everybody.
I am your warrior. I am your justice. And for those who have been wronged and betrayed, I am your retribution. I am your retribution. I'm not gonna let this